a wave of outrage erupts across Idaho. The news spreads like wildfire, igniting anger and disbelief in every corner of the state. Bryan Kohberger, the man accused of the brutal student murders that shook the nation, has struck a plea deal with prosecutors, a decision that has sent shockwaves through the legal system and the affected communities. The terms are stark. No death penalty, just life in prison without the possibility of parole. A deal that some believe is too lenient, considering the gravity of the crimes. The community is stunned, reeling from the implications of this agreement. Many see this as a profound betrayal of the victims and their families, a compromise that falls far short of true justice. How could prosecutors, seemingly armed with so much evidence, agree to this outcome? What factors led to this controversial decision? The families of Kaylee Goncalves and Madison Mogan, along with those of Zana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, are left utterly devastated, grappling with a sense of profound loss and injustice. Their hope for a full and transparent trial, for true justice, has been dashed against the rocks of legal compromise. Instead of a public trial where every detail could be scrutinized, we are left with a quiet settlement reached behind closed doors. No jury, no full accounting of the evidence, no opportunity for the community to witness justice unfold. Across the country, people are questioning the rationale behind this decision, asking, was the case against Kohberger weaker than the public was led to believe? Or did the prosecution simply fear the inherent risks and uncertainties of a high-profile trial? The sense of injustice is overwhelming, a palpable weight on the hearts of many. The accused will live out his days, albeit behind bars, while the 4 young lives he is accused of taking are gone forever, their potential tragically unfulfilled. For many, this plea deal is a bitter pill to swallow, a difficult truth to accept. It's a decision that leaves wounds open, questions unanswered, and a lingering sense that justice has not been fully served. The nation continues to mourn the loss of these bright young individuals, and the demand for real, transparent, and unwavering justice only grows louder with each passing day. Flashback to November 2022. 4 University of Idaho students found brutally murdered in their home. The crime shocked the nation and terrified a small college town. The investigation was relentless, thousands of tips, a white Hyundai Elantra DNA on a knife sheath. The trail led to Bryan Kohberger, a criminology PhD student arrested in Pennsylvania. His arrest brought relief, but also a long legal battle. Prosecutors promised a death penalty trial, confident in their evidence. The public waited for answers, expecting a dramatic courtroom showdown. Instead, the case dragged on, motions, challenges, delays. No one expected it to end with a plea deal, not a verdict. The shock of this outcome still reverberates. The plea deal, a decision that sent shockwaves through the nation. Bryan Kohberger, facing accusations of the brutal murders of 4 University of Idaho students, pleads guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder. In exchange, he escapes the death penalty, a punishment many felt was deserved. Instead, Kohberger receives a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole, ensuring he will never walk free again. No trial, no jury deliberation, no public presentation of evidence, no public reckoning, no opportunity for the community to witness the full weight of the evidence against him. Prosecutors justify the decision, stating that it spares the victims' families the additional trauma of a lengthy and emotionally draining trial. But many see it as a surrender, a compromise that fails to deliver true justice. For a crime this brutal and heinous, many firmly believe that only the death penalty could truly fit the magnitude of the offense. Legal experts are split in their assessment. Some call it a pragmatic solution, a calculated move to ensure a conviction. Others, however, view it as a dangerous precedent, potentially emboldening future criminals. Was the evidence against Kohberger truly shaky? Was the risk of an acquittal deemed too high to proceed with a trial? The deal effectively denies the families of the victims their day in court, a chance to confront the accused and hear the details of the crime, and it leaves the public in the dark with many unanswered questions about the investigation and the evidence. A trial would have revealed the full, unvarnished truth, laying bare all the facts of the case. Now, many crucial questions linger, casting a shadow over the entire proceedings. The case is officially closed, at least in the eyes of the law. But the controversy surrounding the plea deal is just beginning to ignite a firestorm of debate and outrage. For many, justice feels profoundly incomplete, leaving a void that may never be filled. Steve Goncalves, the father of Kaylee, is understandably furious. The pain of losing his daughter is compounded by what he perceives as a failure of the justice system. He feels the system betrayed not only his family but also the other victims and their loved ones. The promise of justice, he believes, has been compromised. He wanted a full and transparent trial, a process where all evidence could be presented. He wanted a jury of peers, individuals who could impartially weigh the facts and deliver a verdict based on evidence. He desired a real reckoning, not a backroom deal that sidesteps the full process of justice and potentially diminishes the gravity of the crime. His anger, raw and palpable, echoes across the country, resonating with many who feel the same sense of injustice. It's fueling outrage online, igniting discussions and debates about the fairness of the legal system, and it's leading to calls for the deal to be overturned, for a reevaluation of the process, and for a renewed commitment to seeking true justice. The families feel ignored and sidelined, their voices drowned out by legal maneuvering. Their pain feels dismissed, sacrificed in favor of legal convenience and expediency. Social media explodes with reactions, opinions, and expressions of grief and anger. There's an outpouring of support for the victims and their families, a digital memorial built on shared sorrow, and there's widespread condemnation for the plea deal, seen by many as a betrayal of justice. Kohberger will disappear into prison, removed from public view, his fate sealed. But the family's grief will endure, a constant reminder of their devastating loss, and the public's questions, the unanswered what-ifs, remain lingering in the air. The legal battle may be over, the case officially closed in the eyes of the law, but the emotional wounds are raw and deep, unlikely to heal quickly or completely. For the families, true justice, the kind that brings peace and closure, is still agonizingly out of reach. The nation waits, watches, and hopes for a sense of closure that, for many, may never truly come.